Hey guys, Wrestling Throwdown here. I'm Haley and I have a special guest with me tonight, Mr. Michael Miner.
Hello,
And
good
we are
people.
gonna talk and we are gonna talk about SmackDown's 15th anniversary. And now I promised you guys I'd do this one alone, and I did NXT alone this week too. It was kind of busy, but I promised you guys I would do this one alone just because it was obviously a bigger SmackDown. And it was actually pretty good. I thought it was gonna. I didn't think, like, when I read the spoilers, I didn't think it was gonna be as good. It didn't sound as good as what it actually was. But I watched it a few minutes ago, and it was actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. There's some good segments in there, and me and Miner are very happy about a certain something that happened too in this SmackDown. But we'll talk about that later. But Miner, what were your thoughts on SmackDown?
Oh man, SmackDown was really awesome. It was good to see some of the people that I not got to see in a while. Good to see the people power and all that kind of deal. And then the other person, Mr. Teddy Long, I was like, what the heck is he doing here? I thought he said he retired. I wanted they just maybe had him come back
Yeah,
for one night
probably.
to celebrate 15 years of anniversary. But there was a particular person that wasn't on there. We had Stephanie McMahon, you had Paul, you had Teddy Long, we had Johnny Lagan, or whatever the hell his name is,
Laura.
and Laurinaitis. But where was Paul Heyman? Oh, that's right. They already did a video on WWE YouTube.
Yeah, Paul Heyman. And I mean, people have been kind of going crazy about that. And my whole group about the Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar thing. Because the rumors are Brock Lesnar is not supposed to have another like match, I guess, until Royal Rumble against John Cena. And a lot of people were complaining about that because obviously Brock Lesnar is the champion right now, and obviously it's supposed to be a 30-day rule, and obviously it's the biggest title, so why not? But it's really no one was really going to be able. They would have had to turn Randy Orton face for that, and then they would have had to bring back Batista. Batista says he's not coming back, maybe just for one more match, and so the whole thing would have just been bad. So they had to obviously tweak it until John Cena was ready for his rematch, and so then after that he can get ready for Roman Reigns. But yeah, he's. I don't know if Paul's going to. I'm sure Paul's going to make at least a few appearances after for the next few months, but I don't think he's definitely not going to be there every week. But it is a shame. But you
Yeah,
know,
because I saw it on YouTube. I saw him doing a video on SmackDown. I'm like, okay, is that going to be broadcast on the actual show that you showed it, or is it not? And it wasn't pretty much not on SmackDown. I'm like, okay, well, you guys did the Paul Heyman thing on because he was talking about himself as the general manager of SmackDown. It was the Paul Heyman era, but yeah, I didn't see him.
yeah, yeah, I miss Paul Heyman. I really wish they would at least let him talk, but I guess there's really no point of him talking if Brock Lesnar's not going to be there and Brock Lesnar's not going to have a match. So that's probably what it was. SmackDown started off. It had a really good segment, I think, in the beginning. I thought it was hilarious. Stephanie McMahon came out, and she talks about her husband Triple H beating The Rock, the first ever SmackDown, which was hilarious. I'm a huge Triple H fan, and I can't stand The Rock, so I thought it was hilarious. And she talks about being the first general manager of SmackDown. She was a great general manager, too. And then John Laurinaitis comes out, and he starts talking about people power. Oh, it was great seeing him. He got a nice pop, too. Like, I think people were really happy to see him. It's funny because a lot of people didn't like him when he was obviously general manager, but, like, he really got a nice pop. And then Teddy Long interrupts. And then JBL, JBL just ran and got out of his seat and ran and just shook Teddy Long's hand. That was so funny. I was just like, what the hell is he doing?
What?
um,
Teddy.
and then they pretty much go back and forth, Teddy Long and John Laurinaitis, and say who's the better GM manager. And so eventually they make a 15-man tag. Well, it was really a 14-man tag match, but they called it a 15 because of, Hornswoggle being half man and half gator. But then you can actually say that for Altarito too, because he's half bull, half human too. So it could have just been a 16-man tag team match, but um, and the winner pretty much of those two teams, pretty much John Laurinaitis was with the heels, and then Teddy Long was with the faces. The winner was going to be called the greatest GM of all time, well, of SmackDown. And then Stephanie talks about how Miz TV will have Xena and Miz on it. The end, and then Adam Rose comes out. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell is he doing out here? I'm like, seriously, you just ruined a good segment. And it was actually really funny because he goes, don't be a lemon, be a rosebud. And then Stephanie says, well, you know what? You should be in action tonight. You're Mr. Partier, and she makes him versus Kane right now. And then she starts dancing, and John Laurinaitis starts dancing, and Teddy Long starts dancing. It was hilarious. And then Adam Rose obviously had a sour look on his face, and he was all pissed off, and the Rosebuds were all pissed off. And then Teddy Long, John Laurinaitis, and Stephanie were just dancing. It was hilarious. I loved it. What did you think about that segment? I thought it was great.
Oh man, I love that segment. I mean, got to see Stephanie come out saying that Rock beat, that her husband beat The Rock, but don't forget Shawn Michaels beat The Rock with the Sweet Chin Music to help Triple H to win that match. I remember that one back in the day when it first started. They got to main event SmackDown. That was an awesome match. But yeah, seeing the segment, it just. JBL was just happy to go over to see Ted Long. Hasn't seen him in a while. He had to do his little dance that he does. He does come down the ramp to go to the ringside and all that. But it was awesome. I mean, and then oh my God, it was a miracle seeing Adam Rose and the Rosebuds going. I was just sitting there like, what's wrong, Adam Rose? You look shocked. Your little gayish face looks shocked that you're going to take pain. Bye-bye. Party over.
It was great. Speaking of that, they have a match right after Kane versus Adam Rose. He beats him so fast. It's like, so they're finally gonna destroy Adam Rose. They're probably gonna knock him off the roster, and it's gonna be great. I mean, I used to be a Rosebud, and I used to think highly of him, but he has just been getting on my last nerve the past 2 months, and I've just wanted him to go get the hell out. He was just driving me insane. I was so happy when he got defeated. And I thought that was actually a good person to make him an undefeated Kane, because it makes Kane look good too. And the Rosebuds all go in the ring, and they obviously are like, oh no, Adam Rose lost. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. And Kane comes back, and he just starts choke slamming several of the Rosebuds. It was great. So, I don't know what this means for Adam Rose, but I have read that this was a long time coming. My website said for the rumors that it was completely planned. It wasn't on accident or last minute. It was completely planned that he was going to get beat on SmackDown. It was a long time coming. This was completely planned. So we will see what happens. Hopefully he either starts really dying down where he just keeps losing, or he just gets knocked off the roster. Either one's great. Because I feel like even if he does keep losing, he's going to get knocked off the roster anyways. But I don't know, though, because what are they going to do with the bunny? What are they going to do with Darren Young being the bunny?
That's what the damn bunny.
Oh, well, it's Sami Zayn, but it's supposed to be when they do the I guess the revealing, it's supposed to be Darren Young. Obviously, people know it's Sami Zayn with the flips and everything, but it is supposed to be Darren Young. So I don't know if they're just going to have the bunny be alone now, and then eventually have it be Darren Young, and then him just taking off the bunny suit and it just showing up to be Darren Young. I actually thought that they were going to let Adam Rose still be undefeated until they do that whole bunny thing. But I guess it's about the bunny anyways. It's not about Adam Rose. It's about Darren Young returning, obviously, from um what did he have? What injury did he have? That one bad injury.
Oh,
Um ACL or something like that. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. And so that he's obviously, I think he's been off for like 8 months now, maybe even more,
yeah.
maybe close to 9. I think he got like it was the beginning of January or February or something like that. He got rid of, but yeah, I loved this. I'm so happy that the Rosebuds are just done. Hopefully they just clear him out or send him back to NXT or just do a whole new character, change something because it wasn't gonna last much longer. I'm glad that they finally just were like, whatever, it's done, it's over. Everyone was sick of it. Minor, I know your thoughts. You're happy too. You've been a lemon
I'm
bud the whole time.
I've been so happy because I've always made this one hashtag I'm 11 100% forever. That's gonna be always. I started this back when Adam Rose came to the WWE, and I was like, oh God, can they bring back Leo Kruger? Because that's the character I liked. I liked him playing as Leo Kruger. He played with his hair, tell him I'm going to crush someone, I'm going to hurt somebody, I'm going to make someone tap out. I liked it that, not with this other character they changed. I'm like, really, WWE? You have to change him from Leo Kruger to Adam Rose? I'm like,
I
oh
don't even
boy.
know why they did that in the first place. I thought that was so stupid. I mean, I
I
didn't really
know.
watch NXT with him as Leo Kruger, but I watched some of his later matches, and I was just like, why did they kill a completely cool, fine gimmick that everyone loved and made it into something? Because they wanted a party person, they wanted a fun, entertaining character, and they didn't have that. It's just for laughs and
I know
stuff to
that.
get the kids behind. Is that what it was about?
Hey, I'll be right back. I'm doing a show with someone right now.
It was just ridiculous, though. I mean, it was crazy. I don't know why they did that. It was stupid. But he's done. He's gone. Hopefully he's done, or they just make him go on a losing streak, because that'll make me happy too. Because then maybe they'll have Heath Slater beat him, and that'll make me really happy. AJ Lee versus Alicia Fox. Again, they act like AJ Lee did nothing wrong. I can't take it anymore. I hate her so much. I've hated her since I first seen her, day one. It was, and I tried to like her during the whole CM Punk storyline because she was good during but that was the only time. I didn't like her when
Yeah.
she was with Daniel Bryan. I didn't like her when she was a heel. I didn't like her when she was with John Cena. I didn't like her when she was GM. I did not like her, period. And
Mm.
I love how they're just making her look still so good, like nothing happened with her and Emma, and they're just completely taking out the whole her walking out on Emma. Emma wasn't even there, and they're still making AJ look like the good person here. I just thought that's so fucking stupid. Paige was at ringside holding the Divas title. AJ Lee beat her fast, though. She beat Alicia Fox very fast. And then Paige came in and attacked her with the Divas title, and then AJ just got right back up and then fought them both out and then skipped away. On her merry old way, like she always does, makes her look so great. You guys know I can't stand AJ Lee, so I mean there's really no point in just starting to bash her again because it's just pointless. I know a lot of people love her. So it's just pointless. You guys know why I don't like her. She's just, her character has gotten so stale. It's boring, and to tell you the truth, I really don't think she can do no more than a few moves. Her submission move is the only thing that's really keeping her alive, and her mic skills too. She is a good talker, but other than that, I think Paige is a way better in-ring performer. But that's just my opinion. What's your thoughts on this whole match? And this whole thing about AJ Lee being a good person now, again, all of a sudden making them just forget about the Emma thing.
I don't know. Her and the AJ Lee and Paige thing. I thought maybe the feud thing was over with, but don't look like it's over. And I just hope it gets over to at least either Hell in the Cell or at at Survivor Series. I mean, this is just this Divas thing is getting crazy with the title and all that kind of deal. I'd rather see somebody come out of the NXT like Charlotte or freaking Sasha Banks or somebody. I mean, the AJ Lee and Paige thing is just getting a little cuckoo.
It is getting overplayed, I do agree, because they just keep switching the title on and off. They needed to leave it with Paige and then have maybe one more match, and then it should have been done. Now, Paige obviously gets a rematch, and what's going to happen? What is she going to win? And Hell in a Cell, and then AJ's going to get her rematch and then win again. I swear, they need to stop doing the flip-flopping. It's getting ridiculous. AJ Lee needs to give other people a chance to shine. She needs to take a back seat. She doesn't need to be the center of attention 24 fucking 7.
Yep.
Sorry for the language, but she's been the center of attention since what, the end of 2011 pretty much.
Yeah.
When she started dating Daniel Bryan, and then she obviously with the whole relationships, GM, then turning heel, then Divas Champion, then with Dolph, and all that stuff. It's gotten overplayed. And then right when she came back, she was the center of attention again. It's just like, put the spotlight on someone else for a change. She does not need to be. And I mean, if you really want to have her on center of attention, make her a valet again. If you really have to have her be the center of attention, she needs a break from the Divas. I mean, this is ridiculous. She's had it 3 times already in what, 1 year? Not even a year. I think it's been like less than a year or something like that. No, it has been like about a year. Yeah. So, but it's getting ridiculous. It really is. She needs to slow down. They give it to Natalya if you're not going to let Paige keep it on. Give it to where's Tamina Snuka? Like, give it to her, and then when Charlotte comes up, give her a chance. It's ridiculous. The whole thing's ridiculous. Okay. This is something I definitely want to talk about. Seth Rollins versus Kofi Kingston. Rumors were that they had two matches for their tapings, and they had it earlier, and I guess WWE did not like how it played out, and so they made Seth and Kofi redo it after the main event. So this was actually supposed to be after the main event. Like, this was I guess this was like after the main event, but they kind of cut and paste to make it look like it was in the middle of the show. And Seth was more aggressive in this match, in this one match, and you could tell he was more aggressive, with his curb stomp and everything like that, and his moves. I don't know if he was just pissed about him having to redo the match or something. I don't know if it was like because of botches or what. They didn't like how it played out, so they made him redo it. So I don't know if that's why he got pissed off or what, but I thought it was bizarre. And Kofi Kingston, obviously, they're still all wearing red, too. Big E, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods are still wearing that red color. All together, they're still all matching. So I'm not really sure what's going on with the whole, their whole group thing that's supposed to be happening. They said that they were going to think about bringing it back, and it looks like they might bring it back because they're still matching, but who knows what's going on with that whole thing. But I do think it's bizarre that they had to redo this match, because there's been quite a few matches that have had botches before and they haven't made them redo. So I don't know if this match was just that bad, or I don't know. Maybe because it was with Seth and Kofi and they're both really athletic and really great wrestlers, so maybe that's why they were more picky on this. I don't know. I don't know what the idea was, but what was your whole thoughts on this whole thing?
The match with Seth and Kofi was a really good match between Seth. I mean, Seth being really aggressive, and he's got a big competition coming ahead of him at Hell in the Cell. He's going to be locked inside a cell, so he's going to have to get used to it, because it's going to be his first time being locked inside of a Hell in the Cell with either John Cena or Dean Ambrose.
Definitely. Rusev versus Dolph Ziggler. This was just kind of a throw-in match. Rusev squashed him. All these matches were actually really short, except
Yeah,
for the main event. Yeah, all of them were like really short. I don't know what was up with that. Um, and now they talked about Lana talked both about Rock and Rusev. And Rusev obviously challenged Big Show to this Monday Night Raw for a match. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen if they're going to end the Big Show and Rusev's feud on Raw, and then maybe they're going to do something with Rock. But the whole Rock thing, it looks like he might be busy because of the whole Triple H thing too, and we'll get into that later. But it's actually next. Actually, we're going to be talking about it. But I don't know what's going on with this whole thing. I don't know if Rusev's even going to have a match at Hell in a Cell. I mean, I guess anything's possible. It's still a couple of weeks away, I think. I think it's like 2 weeks away now. So I guess anything's possible. But I don't know. I feel like they should just keep it with Big Show, but they kind of threw The Rock in there, and it's just kind of getting all mixed up. It's just like what are they going to do? Have a triple threat match or something? I mean,
no.
or I mean, it's just kind of crazy. Or have a tag team match or something like that. I mean, I don't even know. Like it wouldn't even make sense. But they're both Rusev is both dealing with The Rock and the Big Show, and Lana's both putting them into obviously this whole storyline. So I thought The Rock was just gonna be a 1 week thing and then be done. But obviously, if they're still sorry about that, talking about him, it's obviously not done. I mean, and then the whole Big Show thing. That's why I'm thinking like maybe Big Show and the Rusev feud is going to end on or not on SmackDown, Raw because they're having a match and Rusev, you know, asked him for a match. So I'm not really sure what's going on with the whole Rusev feud. What are your thoughts, Miner?
I think so too. I mean, to me, I think with Rusev winning that match against Dolph Ziggler, I mean, Dolph Ziggler being put in a lot of switching matches. He got him against The Miz, and then he had those switch with Cesaro, and then I'll put in Rusev in it. I'm like, okay, what are they gonna do? Maybe put a fatal four-way, maybe at Hell in a Cell, maybe for the Intercontinental title with Rusev, Cesaro, Dolph, and Miz. That would have be a good match, maybe possibly at Hell in a Cell, or wait and put it up until like Survivor Series. That would have been awesome to see. But to me, this feud with Rusev and Big Show, I hope it just ends with Big Show getting squashed and and that kind of deal.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what they're doing with that. It's kind of confusing. Uh, Now this was a backstage segment. They say they obviously taped this after Raw went off the air. It was Stephanie, Triple H, and The Rock backstage, and they pretty much Triple H and The Rock kind of got into it, and they talked about their SmackDown feud and everything, and then they talked about a main event WrestleMania match. And I thought this was interesting. I was just like, are they setting up for something? Like, are they actually setting up for one more match? Now, I know a lot of people are probably like totally against this idea, but I actually like, really like the idea. I would love it to see him actually face Triple H one more time. I think it would be a great match. It would be something I'm totally into. The feud would be great. Because I started watching wrestling like right after their feud ended. So and right after Triple H got hurt, so I really didn't get a chance I mean I've watched it, but I haven't really seen it like live and everything like that. I really haven't really gotten to picture it because I was still really young when I watched it. But yeah, I really would love it if they did have one more match. I think that would be great. I mean, you could tell that there was a lot of tension backstage between them. But what are your thoughts, Minor? Would you love to see one more match between them? I would love it. I think that's definitely a WrestleMania match. I think that would be a good WrestleMania match.
To me, I would love to see one more WrestleMania match against Triple H and The Rock. I mean, these two, all be nicey, and all of a sudden they get, I beat you, I beat you. Why don't we have this at WrestleMania? It could be this WrestleMania. It could be next year's WrestleMania. It could be the year following. I mean, just do it. Do it at WrestleMania 31.
Exactly.
It would be awesome to see. I just don't understand why people don't like him. To me, I do. I think it was just to close the book between those two.
Definitely. And I mean, they showed it and they had tension. I mean, what are they going to do? Have this whole thing and then have Rock like not come back? I feel like that's what they're setting this up for. I feel like this is going to be either I feel like this is going to be a WrestleMania match, because if they didn't, if it really wasn't going to be a WrestleMania match, why are they bringing this up right now? And why are they having, The Rock come out and do all this stuff and then have Triple H, bring it up about WrestleMania, saying that he in their feud and everything like that? I have a feeling that they're going to do something with this. I really do. Because I feel like what are they going to do? Just leave it and act like we never even saw anything and just
Yeah.
forget about it like they probably always do? I mean, they do this a lot, but it just wouldn't make sense. I definitely would love to see one more match between them. Let's see. They threw a cake at Tom, which was hilarious. And then Booker T came out, and he joined the commentary. And then they had the 7 versus 7 match. Team Teddy versus John Laurinaitis. Team John Laurinaitis. We actually seen the Cesaro swing in this match. I loved it. Everyone was doing their moves, and it was just chaos in the ring. And obviously the baby faces get the win. Team Teddy was obviously with the baby faces, and John Laurinaitis was with the heels. And Team Teddy won, so I guess obviously, considering the rules, he's now considered the greatest SmackDown general manager, which is definitely obviously good to say, because a lot of people loved the whole tag team matches that he made, and he was, 6 years, he was a great GM. Other than maybe Stephanie, I feel like he probably was the greatest SmackDown GM. Well, obviously Paul Heyman too was amazing too. I feel like Paul Heyman actually was number one. I forgot about Paul Heyman, but Teddy Long, he was a great GM, and I'm actually happy that they let him win, because I feel like it's safe to say that a lot of people liked Teddy, a lot of people liked his matches, and I was actually happy about this. And it was a great match too. This was the only match that was actually it lasted, I think, 3 commercials and stuff like that. It was a nice, good long match. This was the only long match they had actually on the show. Everything else was really fast. So it was a good 7-on-7. Well, I guess you can say it was a 15-man tag match, but it was technically a 14-man tag match. It was 7 versus 7. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. We got to see Cesaro do his swing and everything like that, so I liked it. Minor?
Yeah, I think so too. I love the main event. The 15-man tag match. It was awesome to see it. To determine the greatest SmackDown general manager. I think it was awesome to see it. Seeing that we finally got to see the Cesaro swing, now everybody can be quiet about it. Oh, we don't get to see it. I want to see the Cesaro swing. When is it going to happen? Well, it just happened. Now you can. Whoop! It's done and good for you guys. You got to see this.
It was a long time coming. He definitely needed to do it.
Yeah.
And then Miz TV. This was a great segment. Dean and John Cena come out, and then there was hints too when John Cena was coming out that he's never gonna change and this is how he is. I'm just like, what is up with the heel turn thing still going on? I thought this ended with the heel turn. They're still actually talking about the heel/face stuff and everything like that, and if he's gonna change and that. I think it's kind of ridiculous, because it seems like he's not going to change, obviously, anymore. If they didn't do anything with him with Paul Heyman, he's not going to change. Maybe, if he has another, I think it would be good for him to have one more. Actually, this would be a good setup for the Roman thing, because obviously they have to face one more person. He has to face that Elimination Chamber. So, well, I don't know. They usually have a 6-person for Elimination Chamber. So, but it would be awesome to see him turn at Royal Rumble, because it's obviously a big event. But he's not going to turn. I think it's done and over with. He didn't change yet, so I feel like he's never going to change. I don't know why they're still making hints about this. But Dean pretty much says, he explains why he attacked Cena and laid him out last week. or on Raw. He just pretty much says that no one's going to push him around and that no one steals from him and everything like that. And he says, I don't care who you are. I don't care that you're John Cena. I'm going to do it because, I need, obviously, Seth obviously turned his back, stabbed me in the back, and he was my brother, and blah, blah, blah. And then Cena talks very highly of Dean Ambrose and says that he has it, and that they're cut from the same cloth, and that Dean is, obviously, he loves the business, and he's there to fight. He's not there to, bitch and moan like most people. And so he pretty much, and then he brings out like these two baseballs, and obviously he says pretty much that he has balls, and that Miz doesn't have balls. Which was funny. I like the Miz, but it was funny. And Xena's same funny comedy gimmick. And then he also talks about how on the mic that some people in the back are kind of afraid to give Dean Ambrose a mic because they don't know what he's going to say. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's like a CM Punk thing too. Like they were obviously they were afraid to give him a mic because of obviously his pipe bomb in 2011, but I don't know if that's actually like if he was being serious about Dean, like if they're actually kind of scared to give him a mic because of some of the stuff he says. It's kind of funny though. And Miz obviously gets mad because John Cena pretty much says that, I'll see you at Hell in a Cell, and he's about ready to leave the ring. And Miz gets mad and says that he wants those two to fight, and that they're ruining Miz TV, and the people want to see action, and blah, blah, blah. And then John Cena's just like, you're right, and so they both attack Miz. And then Dean does his move on Miz, and then Cena obviously does AA on Dean and lays him out for payback. And then they show Seth Rollins laughing backstage and watching from backstage. It was a really great segment, and it was definitely amazing. Obviously, Dean has one on Xena, and Xena has one on Dean, so it's tied right now. And that's probably what it's going to be, too, again. Dean's going to get him back on Raw, and Xena's going to get him back on SmackDown, blah, blah, blah. And they're just going to go back and forth until they're even, until Hell in a Cell, obviously, and then obviously people would not know who's going to win. And to tell you the truth, I'm almost thinking it's going to be a triple threat. It's going to end up being a triple threat. I really do. Yeah. For the main event. I really do. I'm starting to lean more towards that. I feel like Randy or Kane's going to come out and distract and just start beating them both up. And it's going to lead to a triple threat match, but we'll see what happens. But your thoughts on the last segment?
The last segment was awesome. The thing that The Miz was saying about that, to me, here's the thing. I just don't like the concept of the match that's going to happen at Hell in a Cell. A no-holds-barred contract on a pole match. Now, I did hear about I can see it being a no-holds-barred match where they beat the tar out of each other with chairs, tables, and all that, but putting a contract on a pole match, what are you going to do? Put a contract on a pole, then about like 4 or 5 minutes, you're going to have to sign the contract, and this match is going to happen later tonight at Hell in a Cell, inside the cell. I'm like, really? I'm like,
Yeah, I feel like it's way too good of a match for it to actually be on a pole, and it's just, I don't know. It's just garbage. But the main event, obviously, is. I feel like something is going to happen to make it a triple threat. But we'll see. I mean, anything can happen. Or either this is going to happen. Either Dean's going to face Seth this time, and then Xena's probably maybe going to get him. Well, I don't know, because then that's still one more for TLC. So I was going to say they're both going to get one match, and then the Royal Rumble's going to happen. But who knows? We'll see. Or maybe even Xena gets this match, and then Dean gets the last two, and then I don't know. I don't know what they would do with Xena though for the last two pay-per-views, because obviously, word is Brock Lesnar is not going to be obviously doing that. He's not going to be defending his title until Royal Rumble. But Roman's coming back. I don't know though. Me and Joe think he's actually going to be a special person for Royal Rumble. I actually heard that they might bring back the 40-man Battle Royal this year, this coming up year, because they
Love
have
it
so
too.
many people on the roster. See, I don't really like the 40-man Royal Rumble. I think it might be a little bit better this year though, but just because they have a better roster and a bigger roster. But when they did it with the 40-man that one year, I didn't like the roster. I feel like they were rushing it and they were just cramming in way too many random people. But I feel like it could work out this year because then they can have a few surprises and they can have a few NXT guys, and then they can have obviously the main roster. I feel like it could actually work out better this year if they do end up doing the 40-man Royal Rumble. But SmackDown, yeah, SmackDown was good. I feel like it could have been a little bit better for obviously being the 15th anniversary of SmackDown, but obviously it's not back. It's not like it was. SmackDown's not like it was back in the day with Eddie and Edge and Chris Benoit and stuff like that. So, oops, I said his name. um, I say that because it's like a no-no to say his name for some people. Like it's WWE treats it like it's like, oh my god, it's like such a bad word if you say Chris Benoit's name. I think it's so funny because he is talented. You hate the guy or not, he was talented. But he was actually my grandma's favorite wrestler. But yeah. So I mean it's not like it was back in the day with Eddie, and all them. So I mean Eddie was what made it. Eddie and Edge. Oh my god, both of them together. It was so great. But I mean obviously for what it is now, I thought it was good. But mine are your thoughts on SmackDown?
Final thoughts on SmackDown tonight. Great SmackDown. It could have had some more surprises. You had Booker T, you had John Laurinaitis, you had Teddy Long. You could have had more special guests. Maybe a special appearance from like some of the wrestlers that were part of SmackDown.
I feel like Edge and Christian should have been here tonight.
Yeah, there you go. Because they did the show the 15 SmackDown 15, the show of a Reek of Awesomeness. They could have brought them on there and say, hey, that's awesome to see them.
Exactly, definitely. That would have really got me going. But there's that, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up this video. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. And don't forget to join our Facebook group if you haven't. And don't forget to also subscribe to Michael Miner's channel. I will put that all links all in the description. And he's actually doing indie shows or indie wrestlers interviews this month, aren't you? You want to talk a little bit about that and tell them about that?
Yeah. I'm trying to get to see if I can do the interview with Christopher String, the guy that you had on last time on your show. I'll try and see if I can get him part of my show, and I've been also trying to get Derek Gamble from highspots.com, so we can do like a little post stuff and all that. But yeah, the indie wrestling month is going good. I've got a couple episodes of Throwback Indie Week coming up sometime tonight, maybe tomorrow. I don't know, depending on what I got stuff to do. So yeah.
Sounds good. Don't forget to subscribe to him, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you probably. I'm watching Bound for Glory after work, right after work tomorrow. So, and then I did talk to Joe, and Joe says he agrees to do it with me. He says he can. So me and Joe are going to do a Bound for Glory pay-per-view review on Monday. And like I said, I don't know how good it's going to be. Don't get your hopes up, but me and him can either trash it or together, or talk good about it together, because me and Joe usually agree on everything. So
pretty much Bound for Glory, you can call it TNA/Wrestle 1, because I think pretty much it's going to be all TNA and Wrestle 1 matches anyways. So
it's like they don't have any matches. Like they just randomly made matches for this pay-per-view. Yeah. With no feud, nothing, and it's ridiculous. It's a joke, but we'll see. Maybe the matches are good, even if the storylines aren't good. Like I said, TNA storylines, That's what TNA lacks. Their storylines are garbage, but their matches and like I love how how I talked about. I love how they have different matches all the time. That's something good, and their talent's great. But yeah, their storylines and their backstage segments, they need to work on that, and that's what WWE obviously kills them in, and that's why they get more ratings for entertainment. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, maybe they'll still be great matches, even if they're random matches. Maybe they'll still be good matches. So we'll see. Regardless, me and Joe are going to be doing a review on Monday for it, so I'll look forward to that. I'll see you guys on Monday. Thanks for watching. Bye.